Hey, what is up, YouTube? It's me, Bootney Farnsworth, with The Walking Dead Season 7 slowly approaching and everybody wondering who fell victim to Negan's Bat Lucille. And for my love of zombies, I thought I'd do a top 5 zombie films of all time. And it only seemed fitting that I have some zombie gameplay in the background. I used to play zombies back in the Black Ops 1 days, but now I think it's gotten too complicated. So, without further ado, here are my top 5 zombie films of all time. Coming in at number 5, 28 Days Later. And I know what you're thinking. 28 days later, they're not zombies, but they're infected. I know that, but it still can be classified as a zombie film. The star of the film, Jim, wakes up after being in a coma, and his city is ravaged with the infected. These zombies are fast, and if their blood gets in your mouth or eyes, you can kiss your ass goodbye. Now, if this list was the scariest zombie film of all time, this might get the number 1 spot. Coming in at number 4, Zombieland. With the A-level cast, this film takes the horror/comedy genre to a whole nother level, and arguably it's the funniest zombie film ever made. Sitting at number 3 is George A. Romero's Day of the Dead. This was the first zombie film to push the envelope on gore, and I remember when it came out in '85, I was only 12. And there was rumors that when you went to the theaters to see the film, that they was handing out barf bags. I honestly can't remember whether this was true or not. I had to wait until it came on VHS to see it. But this film also introduced the first talking zombie, Bub. Now, this film was not as good as Romero's previous film, Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead. But I just remember when I first saw Day of the Dead, the gore factor was just crazy at the time. Coming in at number 2, Return of the Living Dead. Now, this is my personal favorite zombie film of all time. This was the first zombie film to introduce comedy to the franchise. The movie was hilarious. The zombies was fast and arguably the toughest zombies of all time. Bullet to the head? Nope, that ain't gonna work. You had to completely destroy the bodies. You cut them up and the pieces would still come after you. Oh, and these particular zombies, they only ate brains. Brains. And the number 1 spot should come as no surprise to the zombie fans. George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. If it wasn't for this film, there would probably be no other zombie films in existence. Now, technically, this wasn't the first zombie film to ever come out. It was a zombie film that came out, I think, in '39 called White Zombie, but it had nothing to do with what we consider the modern day zombies. I got one honorable mention, Dead Alive. Now, when this film came out in '92, it was billed the goriest film of all time. Now, this film puts the cheese in cheesy horror films. And the crazy thing about this film is that the director is Peter Jackson. Yes, that Peter Jackson. You know, Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson. And guys, in case you're wondering if 2 zombies had a baby, this is what you would get. Well, guys, that's my top 5 zombie films of all time. Let me know what you think about my list, and if you saw the films, what you thought about them. And that's pretty much it. This is Bootney Farnsworth, the only pugilistic COD commentator in the business.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe.